Hello students, today we are going to learn the next important chapter from literature section, that is The Little Girl. The Little Girl, it is a topic written by Catherine Mansfield, and she was a very prominent modernist short story writer from New Zealand. Now, what is the theme of this chapter? In The Little Girl by Catherine Mansfield, we have the theme of fear, control, freedom, independence, acceptance, compassion, and change. So, you will come to see, or you will come to know, or you will come to learn these factors in this lesson. So, let us start the lesson. The little girl. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. And here, in this first line, the little girl is Kezia, and he was the figure to be feared, means her father. He was very angry man, and Kezia, the little girl, she was afraid of her father. So every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with, "Goodbye, father," and oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. So it was the daily routine of her father, that father every day before going to the office, every day he used to come in the room of Kezia, and he used to give her a casual kiss and to say goodbye to her, because as he was going to office. And here she also responded with, "Goodbye, father," in this way. So it was a daily routine. But here the thing is that it was a glad sense of relief for her. She used to feel glad when her father used to go to office, because as soon as she used to hear the noise of the carriage, means the vehicle the father used to go to the office, growing fainter and fainter down the long road. So that was the kind of a sense of relief for her when she used to listen to that carriage, the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter, means what we can say, less noise. Then in the evening when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there, and bring me my slippers." So when the father used to come at home from the office, it was his habit of asking some things in loud voice. He used to ask like, "Bring me my tea." Then he used to ask for newspapers, and also for the slippers. So Kezia, mother would call to her, "If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Then the mother, she used to call Kezia to remove her father's shoes. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, and more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. And then the Kezia, she used to come downstairs, and as she was very afraid of her father, she used to come very slowly, and she used to slowly open the door of the drawing room. Then by that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? I don't know, father. Then again there is a dialogue between Kezia and father. Father was asking her to remove his shoes, and he asked her that have you been a good girl today? Then she used to say, no, I don't know, father. What happened next? You don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. And father used to say, like, if you stutter like that, like don't do in this way, then surely mother will have to take you to the doctor. She never stuttered with other people. That was her habit. She never stuttered with other people, only with father, because she was afraid of her father. Ha- had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth, when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So here, Kezia means actually the author Catherine Mansfield. She's talking about her father's physical appearances, big hands and neck, especially his mouth is also big. Means when he used to yawn, and so whenever Kezia she used to look at her father, she used to think about a giant monster. Okay. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. So on Sunday afternoon, what happened? Her grandmother was very nice person, and she sent Kezia in the drawing room so that she can have a good talk with her father, so that whatever a kind of a fear is there in her mind, it will get removed, and they will have a kind of a good bonding. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa. So whenever she used to go to talk to her father on Sunday afternoons, she found her father stretching, means sleeping on the sofa, and mother reading something. Okay, so his handkerchief on the face and his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So whenever she went to talk to her father on Sunday afternoons, she found her father sleeping on sofa, like his handkerchief on his face and his feet on the one of the best cushions, means one of the best pillows, and sleeping soundly and snoring. So that was the picture she used to find every Sunday afternoon. It is shown in the picture as well. Next. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke up. He woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she could make him a pincushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So one day, what happened? Grandmother suggested her that your father's birthday is next week, and why don't you give a gift to him? Then she also suggested her that she can make a pincushion as a gift, and with the help of like a beautiful piece of yellow silk, she can make a pincushion as a gift for her father. And what happened next? Laboriously, with a double cotton The little girl stitched three sides, but what to fill it with? That was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. And what happened? What she did? She made, or with the help of like beautiful yellow silk, she she stitched three sides of the pillow, but she needed something to fill in the cushion to make a pin cushion. She needed something to fill in the that pillow. So she was searching and she went into mother's bedroom to look for some scraps. What happened next? On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper. And when she went inside the mother's bedroom, she found out some uh, mm, uh, sheet papers on the table. And what happened next? On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, and stuffed her case, then sewed up the fourth side. And so, whatever the papers, the sheets of paper were there on the table, she tore it into pieces and she stuffed all those all those pieces of paper. She put it in the stuffed in the cushion, and then he sewed the last fourth side of the cushion. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. And that night what happened? There was a lot of noise was there in the house. Something happened. Father was very angry. Father's great speech for the port authority had been lost. What happened actually? Father's speech was there for the port authority, and that was missing from the house. So rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. So father and mother, they searched that speech everywhere, and they asked the question to the servants also, did they take it or what something else? But no use. Finally, they came to Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you did not see some papers on a table in your room, in our room? Oh, yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. And when mother asked her about the papers, she said, yes, yeah, I know. I found those papers on the table. I tore them into pieces, and I tore it because I wanted to give a surprise. Then what? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. And here, mother, she became angry again and she screamed and she said, come down now to the dining room this moment or this instant. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. And father was just like hands behind back, and he was just pacing to and fro. And mother brought her down in front of her father. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, 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 she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. And father ordered that mother, you go to her room and find out whether she did that thing or not, because the papers that she took to fill in the pin cushion and the papers that she tore, those were the papers of her father's speech, that actually the father had to deliver a speech for the port authority, and those were the papers of the speech. What happened next? Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. I'm going to beat you for this, he said. Oh no, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. And she was there in her room, and then father, as he was very angry, he came in her room and he was saying that now he is going to beat her because of that mistake. He pulled them he pulled them aside, and she was trying to hide herself in the bed under the bedclothes. But what he did, he pulled the bedclothes aside and sit up. He ordered her to sit and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. And here, as father was very angry, he told her that today I must teach you a lesson that you should not touch any other thing which is not belonging to you. And he was very angry. So, but it was for your birthday. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, and the child clung to her soft body. And the father, he started hitting the ruler on her pink small hands, and she was crying. And father went, and then Kezia, she went to her grandmother, and she hugged her, and she was crying there. And then the grandmother, she wrapped her in a shawl, and they were actually Kezia was crying. So, what did God make fathers for? She sobbed. Here is a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep, pet. You will forget all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. So, here Kezia said, actually, what happened? I did nothing. It was a surprise for him, but still, he was so angry with me tonight. And then, here, grandmother, she tried to console her that, okay, it's okay, just clean your nose now and please go to sleep, and next morning you will be all right, as she was consoling her. So, but the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back, and a red color flew into her cheeks. So, as now she became very angry, and she was angry as well as she feared her father a lot now. So, whenever she used to see her father, she used to keep her, or she used to hold her hands at the back and quickly, and her cheeks were flew into red color. So the McDonald's lived next door. The family McDonald's, they were living next door, means that they were neighbors, and they had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. Now here, Kezia was sitting in her room. She saw that Mr. McDonald and their children, they were playing in the garden. And what happened next? The father, with the baby Mao on his shoulders, two little girls hanging on to his coat pockets, ran round and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them laughing all the time. So she found out that when she was looking out from her window, that Mr. McDonald and his children, they were playing in the garden and they were making fun. So she found out that, wow, this is like a good father. Then what happened next? Then it was she decided there were different sorts of fathers. Now she started thinking that there are different sorts of fathers. Suddenly one day mother became ill, and she and grandmother went to hospital. What happened? One day mother was a little bit ill, and Kezia and grandmother, they went to the hospital. So the little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook, and one day mother was ill and she and grandfather went to hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook, and that was all right in the daytime. So actually Kezia was at home with the cook Alice, and that was the all right time in the daytime. What happened next? But while the Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. What, what will I do if I have a nightmare? She asked. I often have nightmares and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. So here Kezia was telling to Alice when Alice was making her bed, that Kezia was telling her that I usually get nightmares at night. So whenever I get nightmares, what I do, what I just I go to Granny's bed and I sleep with her, and she takes care of me. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. So she was saying that I cannot stay here in the dark room. So you just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. So here Alice said that you just Alice, what she was doing, she was just pulling her socks, removing her socks, and she said, just you go to sleep and you don't scream because your father is there and he is sleeping also. Okay, what happened next? But the same old nightmare came, and the butcher with a knife and a rope who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, Grandma, Grandma. She woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. What's the matter? He said. And that night, that same nightmare, okay, nightmare means a kind of a bad dream, okay, the same dream, the same nightmare was there, and what she saw in the nightmare, like a butcher was there with a knife and a rope in his hands, and he was just coming closer and closer to Kezia, and with a dreadful smile like a monster, okay, or a demon. But and she, what she did, she just cried out like grandma, grandma, loudly, and father was there, and father came there with a candle in his hand, and when he came inside his room, inside her room, he found out that Kezia was shivering a little bit because father was beside her bed with his candle in his hand. And the father asked her, what's the matter? What happened? Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want Granny. He blew out the candle, bent down, and caught up the child in his arms. So what happened? Then Kezia was just asking for Granny, because she said like, I saw a butcher and a knife, but I want Granny now. I want to see Granny. But here father, he tried to console her, and he blew out the candle and bent down, and he caught up the child, means Kezia, in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. He lay down beside her, half asleep, still with the butcher's smile all about her. It seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arms, held tightly to his shirt, and then father took her to the main bedroom, as some papers were there on the bed. So he removed it, and then he put Kezia on that bed and he slept beside her. And here Kezia clung him and he snuggled her head under his arm and held tightly to his shirt. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm, father said. And father said to her that you can just rub your legs on my legs and then you will feel, then you can get them warm. And in this way, the father was trying to console her. So tired out, she slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. He was harder than the grandmother, but it was a nice hardness, and every day he said he had to work and was too tired to be a Mr. MacDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She stared suddenly and sighed. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream. Oh, said the little girl, my head is on your heart. I can hear it going. What a big heart you have got, father dear. The next day, actually, what happened? She found out like another dream, and but here actually we can see that Kezia's mind has changed about her father. Now she started feeling like her father is a very good person because he tried to console her when she was very afraid at night, and now she can see that her father is a very nice person. And what a big heart you have got, she said to her. She's saying to herself only about her father, who is a very dearly person. This is the story of father and Kezia. Okay. Next, so these are the some questions that you have to write. Okay, with full answers. I hope you can write it. And thank you very much. This is all about the story of Kezia. Okay, I hope you understood the story. You can revise it, read it twice, thrice, watch this video twice, thrice. Thank you very much.